Hello, welcome. I just got Give Me Glow's new shadow, Zenon, in the mail today, and I want to get right into it because I'm so excited. I told myself I wasn't touching it until I was filming, and it's been staring me in the face, mocking me for the past hour, and I'm sick of it. So we just need to do it now. So this is their most recent shadow. I don't think they have a name for their special shadows, but it's one of the $22 shadows. I know the other ones are Dragon's Blood, which came out earlier this year, which I opted out of, and Electric Unicorn, which I do have. So I want to just do like an easy little eye swatch on my eyes and then maybe incorporate it into a look and then do some comparisons with this to the other special shadows that I have from Give Me Glow, just so we can see how the formula compares, and then also maybe some other shadows I have from other brands that I think might be similar color-wise or something like that. I don't even know what color this is because it looks so purple on Instagram, and then it looks so green in this one video they had pressing it. It also looks very blue in certain lights, like the product picture that they had in my email confirmation just looked like a straight up like deep denim blue. So we're going to find out what this actually does. It's really pretty. Quick disclaimer, which is just me rattling off my injuries. My cat bit my chin yesterday. She also bit my cheek today, but it was lovingly, and I don't think you can tell. And then also, I broke my finger. No, I didn't break my finger. I broke my nail the other day. I like opened up my car door, and it just like, it didn't even hurt. It just broke. So then I put on a Band-Aid at work today, and my boss only had these blue SpongeBob Band-Aids. So then I painted my nails blue, so you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. So you probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but yeah. So I put on my Anastasia eye primer on my lids, and I'm just gonna go right in with my fingers on my lids, just do like a clean swatch with nothing else going on, and see what it looks like. It looks like they're beautiful, like flaky pressed formula. Ooh. Okay. When I put my finger into it, I could see like the flakes coming up, but this is how it looks in my finger. It does look very purple and very green. I was nervous from some of the swatches too that it was going to be kind of deep, and I'm not the biggest fan of like deep purples on my eye, but it looks like at deepest it's maybe like a mid-tone. That looks really special. Oh wow. It doesn't feel that thick on my eye, but it has that like full pigment look to it, so I'm kind of surprised by that. But it definitely is different from anything else I have in my collection. I can say that off the bat. It looks very green, but very purple also. When I got Electric Unicorn last year, when that one came out, we'll compare that one in a little while, but I was kind of put off by how green that one is. I still feel like I haven't used that one enough to know everything about it. It hasn't come up yet in my random palette selection this year, and I do hope to get to know it better, but that one just seems like all green, and this one just looks very purple and very bright green at the same time, and I really love that about that. I really love that about duochromes when they can exist in two spheres simultaneously. That's really special. Yeah, I am just surprised by how it feels, because it doesn't feel like flakes going onto my eye. But I can tell like when I put my finger in it. Let's see if I can recreate that. I don't know if you could tell, but I felt like when I put my finger in it, I could see it coming up as like little sheets of flake. I like this a lot. One of my palettes for this month is the Fun Size palette from Sugarpill. So just to make this a look, I just want to keep it really simple, but I think I'm going to take 8-bit, which is like a periwinkle type of shade, and just put that in the inner crease. It's focusing on my Band-Aid, huh? And then I'm going to take this lime green, which is the shade Twitch, and I'm going to use that on my outer crease. Okay, I'm gonna finish up my base and the rest of my makeup off camera just so I can have a finished look to show you with the shadow, and I could look not like a person that got mauled by by her pet for the rest of this video. So I'll be right back. I love this. I'm a really big fan of the shadow. I used the teal from the Fun Size palette along with the green and then more of Zenon on top of that. I also patted a little bit more Zenon on my lid just to make sure that was like on the forefront. Everything else I have on my face, I'm just going to write it down below because there's a lot and I like it. Wow, isn't that so cool? So now we're going to move into some swatches and comparisons. We'll see if other shadows that I have are similar in formula and if I have anything that's like close to the color at all, but I don't think so. But I'll have some comparisons, so if you have any shadows that you think might, you know, be similar, I'll show you how it lands. I think I'm gonna take Zenon first and do like a big juicy swatch along the top of my hand so then I could do all the comparisons underneath it. Yeah, I am just, like, I keep on saying this, but I am just surprised every time I swatch it that it just feels like it goes on so thin, but it doesn't look thin at all. I'm just gonna do another dip to make this a big swatch. Gorgeous. Wow, I love that. Yeah, I feel like that works really well, kind of like on the contours of the bones of the back of my hand, that you can see like it just flipping back and forth between that like green and purple. That's really pretty. Okay, so now that I have my big juicy swatch going on, I'm gonna first compare it to the formula of Electric Unicorn, which is their only other $22 shadow that I have. I'm pretty sure that the only 3 that they have in their whole catalog now is this new one, Zenon, Electric Unicorn, and Dragon Blood. I decided to not get Dragon Blood just because it looked like kind of like a dark green, and I've been so adamant on narrowing down my collection recently, and I didn't want to buy it not really being like instantly attracted to it. I like bright greens, but I just feel like I have so many deep greens. I don't know. I would probably buy it in the future if it's on sale. It would probably be fun to show in a video, but I didn't feel like spending the money on it this time. So Electric Unicorn is this one down here. I already picked it up on my finger and it does feel very different than Zenon does. This one feels like very soft and powdery, like it just instantly kicks up onto my finger. And Zenon feels like, maybe it's like a little bit, I don't know, it's hard to describe because I want to say it feels a little bit more hard pressed, but I do also see the flakes of it coming up. It feels like Zenon is made out of pressed flakes and Electric Unicorn is made out of pressed powder. I don't know if that has any truth to it, but that's just how it feels to me. So I'm gonna swatch this above the swatch. They are similar. I feel like they have like a pretty similar green flip to them, but the difference is that Electric Unicorn doesn't really have a base, whereas Zenon has that like mid-toned purple base. Electric Unicorn also goes a little bit more gold, slightly orange in its flip, but I'd say the formula does seem the same. Like it makes sense that these are the same price. The next 3 are their other more expensive shadows that I have. This one is Mermaid Waters, and then we have Glass Slipper and Party Monster. I believe Mermaid Water and Glass Slipper are both $15 shadows and Party Monster is $12, but I find the formula of these 3 to be essentially the same, and Party Monster is my favorite out of them, one of my favorite shadows of all time. I guess, yeah, my favorite Give Me Glow shadow up until possibly today. Haven't decided yet. Mermaid Waters feels a little bit like it's creamy, but also kind of like drier flakes. It is a very different shadow, so hard to compare, but beautiful in its own way. And then Glass Slipper feels very similar to Mermaid Waters. I really like that color. It's like a blue with a ton of pink sparkle, but still not duochromatic in the way that Zenon is. I'm running out of hand space up here, but then this is Party Monster. This one I feel like it is kind of duochromatic, but I don't know. I just love that it's like an undescribable color, and I think it's a steal for $12. I think that with this one, if it was priced at $22, like I wouldn't bat an eyelash at it. Is that the saying? I grabbed a couple for color comparison, even though I know that they're not really going to be comparable, but I think maybe formula-wise, I grabbed the Cosmos. This one's from Terra Moons, and this is such a gorgeous shadow, and like it's not going to be a color dupe, but I feel like it's just like a similar type of shadow. Like this one has like a darker base to it and like a really intense, bright, opposite toned flip. So we'll see if like maybe Zenon's like the purple green version of this one, where this one's more of like a blue pinky version. And I think that might be kind of a fair assessment. Don't they seem kind of similar? Like they both do that thing where like both colors exist at the same time. I do still feel like the Cosmos is like a little bit harder to grasp, but maybe just because that like particular warm tone shade, like what is that shade? Like maybe it is just one thing, it's just harder to sum up in a word, whereas this flip, it's just like, oh, that's green. But yeah, I think if you like the Cosmos, but you want something more purple and green, then Zenon could really work for you. Now that I've kind of like stumbled into this world of more expensive shades from Give Me Glow, I'm not quite as excited about their like regular $7 shimmers. I do like them, but they are just like standard metallic shadows, and as I'm growing my collection of really incredible duochromes and multichromes, they're just not really impressing me as much anymore. I grabbed one of their regular shimmers out because Marissa Does Makeup on Instagram responded to my story and asked to see a comparison. I sent her a picture, but I figured I would show you also in case some of you guys are curious about that. So this is Perry. Did I say that? So you can see it does have that purple base, but I feel like Perry is a little bit more of like a cool purple base. Zenon's a little bit more of a warm purple base, and of course Perry doesn't have a flip at all. It's just like a standard metallic shadow. Very different. I also grabbed from JD Glow, this is the shade Insane. This is a really pretty dimensional purple, but I don't think it's duochrome like this. Yeah, really pretty, but it's all purple. The base and the flip are all purple. Very different. Next I grabbed Royalty from Cleona. This is I think it's one of their Vibrant multichromes. Even though I don't think it's that multichromatic, but it is really, really pretty. Probably one of my favorite purples I have in my collection. You know, this one I will say, looking at it now, it does have some kind of like bright coolness in that glitter that I feel like in a way it is similar to Zenon, just not as intense in the difference. Way more purple than Zenon is. And then the last shadow that I thought of is Gleam from Glaminatrix. The shadow I feel like I haven't gotten to know as well as I'd like to, but just looking at it in the pan, you could see that like that light coolness to it. So this one's way more of like a neutral purple, kind of a similar review to Royalty. Really beautiful shadow. It does have that similarity in the lightness of the glitter, but nothing similar to Zenon. So to answer your question, is this whole video really about one shadow? Yep. And I hope I provided you with the necessary information to help you decide if you want to pick it up, or at least it was entertaining. I know that I'm really, really excited by the shadow. I can't stop looking at it. It looks really glowy, really pretty, and I'm happy that I did decide to pick it up. And that's everything for today. If you want to see more of my Gimme Glow shadows in action, I do have other videos about those. I'll link them down below. I should have said that earlier. But otherwise, give me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. It really means a lot to me, and thank you so much for being here. Bye.